Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, the unthinkable 100% plus on stock market returns. Is it possible with one stock? It could be several stocks, even crazier. We have that to talk about this evening, and dividends. You know they came out for Yield Max ETF. We know how much they're going to be this week. That's right. We like these weekly payouts and these monthly payouts. And now's the time to build wealth now. And welcome. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for this information, who needs this information with all the turmoil, with all of things going on in the world. Just make sure you share the video so at least you can lead people to water because time is short. 1 year, 6 months. That's what you're going to have to use as a timeline because we are going to enjoy a stock market boom. And with that, a little crypto, a little gold, little silver, a little precious metals, as I've already mentioned. And that's what you need to do, along with finding those extra streams of revenue are going to be extremely hard. So you have to figure out low hanging fruit. So some of you may be joining tonight watching and saying, what's he talking about? 100% returns? Well, thanks to Brian P., Mr. Dividend, sending me an article, I said, let me show people what I'm talking about tonight. This Friday, or was it last Friday? Last Friday was the distributions for a stock from Yield Max ETF. And needless to say, it's a nice return. So, with that said, an article came out, and I just want to put it on screen to see that I'm not full of ish. So, check this out. We've talked about this stock, MSTY. Let's see here. Can we get it on screen? There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the article. And what I'm going to do is you may not be familiar if you are a new listener, new watcher from the many different locations around social media. Welcome again to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Now, you can see here an ETF with 136% yield, the high stakes strategy behind the massive payouts. Go look here and understand, study, and put a link in the comment section so everybody can go there. And you'll see that this is very, very nice discussion. The next payout is going to be 3 weeks from now. Okay. But dividend income investing is so much more than just considering the yield of a dividend paying company or ETF. So I'm going to skip. So when you see an ETF like Yield Max MSTR, that's M as in Mary, S as in Sam, T as in Tom, R as in Robert, that right there is micro strategy. So what they do is they do option trading with MicroStrategy stock, the premiums, the fees. They then share it with us, stockholders. And the stock symbol is MSTY. Mic check, mic check. I'm having to switch over the mics. I must have some sort of interference running tonight, but it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on mute. Thank you so much, Tamara, Larry. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And I guess you guys could not hear me when I was talking about Yilmax ETF, which is a damn shame. Thank you so much, EV Place. Once again, in case you're new here and just now came into the live stream, there looks to be a little problem, but it's all right. You know, problem solving sometimes builds character. All right. Uh-oh. I'm oh, this is not good. Whenever we used to talk, oh, this is crazy. Whenever we used to talk about Yilmax ETF and I would show stuff on screen, it would go out. And it looks like we're having the same type of old school thing. It's not coincidence. Didn't even dawn on me. I forgot about that because we were able to. Well, actually, I wasn't at Yomax ETF. I was at the Global News Network because every Wednesday they put out the dividends that are going to be distributed on Friday of this week in 2 days. So if you have this stock, you purchased it by today by 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is after that now, you would be receiving a return. We're going to get to that in a second. I was going over to that screen, but I see I'm having a problem here. This isn't loading up for me. I don't like this. What's going on? Oh, here we go. Taking its sweet time. This article, and it's taking its sweet time. Okay, I see now what's going on. Okay, hold on. We're going to do it a different way. Okay, let me get this off of here. All right, we're going to go a different route. Okay, I'm getting all kind of signals. This is not good. It's a Wednesday night. What is happening? All right, well, we'll add something else to the screen then. Let's see if they'll allow this one to come on down to the playground. Here goes something. This is going to be the payout, ladies and gentlemen, on Friday. On Friday, these are going to be the payouts. Weekly payouts. GPTY is now joined on the weekly payouts. Something seems to be missing. I thought there was another one. LFGY. I like it. Okay. QDTY. They're doing the NASDAQ 100. RDTY is the Yield Max Russell 2000 here. These are Yield Max ETFs payouts on Friday, June 13th. You can see it right here. GPTY, 30 cents per share. LFGY, the same as last week, I believe was around 47 cents per share. So once again, that's pretty good. Then we go down here to the ULTY, 9 cents, almost 10 cents per share on a $6 stock is pretty good. Uh, that's let's see. If you did 9 cents times 12, that's a dollar something. So that's not too bad of a return as it's going to turn out. Anything can happen over the year, but they're talking about 79%. I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. Y Mag at 17 cents, so down to 57 cent, 57% distribution, and we have Y Max. Now, there's some others, a lot of others. Here's the crash for shorting Tesla, doing options puts. I'm assuming that's what they do. You have the Dorsey Fund, which is feet, $1. You guys can get all of this. I'm going to put a link down below in the description box. And hopefully this live stream continues. Yeah, it looks like I have chat. So here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. So if you want this same chart, it comes out every Wednesday. So all of the Yield Max ETF for that monthly payout on Friday or weekly payout, you'll already know what it is. So it won't be a surprise for you. And you like early surprises. Good evening, everyone. Says EV Place. Very, very happy to see you, man. Thank you so much for being in the house. And he says this. It's even better, Eric. They showing Friday payout on Wednesday around noon, so you know what to expect if you want to buy more before 8 p.m. and harvest in 2 days. Exactly. That's what I love about this. And it does create a situation where people are like, hell yeah, I'll take it. If I can get 10% this month, I'll take it. If I can get 7%, I'll take it. If I can get 2% or 3% for the month, I'll take it, because they recognize the situation. If I can get simply 3% per month, that's still 3 times 12. That's 36% return. And if we can get that stock price to stay near the same price, I'll take that all day long. I don't care about appreciation on the stock price. That 36% distribution return rate, I'd rather have that than have the stock price move up 36%. I'd rather have actual cash money that can reinvest and buy more shares. That's the game plan. So then you just automatically keep buying more shares. Your dividends keep increasing. And that's what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen. So the 100%, yes, it's not on all. It's only on the MSTY was showing 100% last week. And since it's based on distribution rate from the option income trading, that's what matters. All right. So down below in the description box, you can see it crossing your screen right now. Global news, that's where I'm at on my right-hand side. So you can go there and get the information yourself. All right. Now, it's dividends, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you've locked in your pricing for some shares of stock, so there's some people that are going to get higher rates of returns than others. And the reason being is because some of us have purchased our stock price near 52-week lows. Because of the China American pseudo yet to be formalized trade deal that the United States is saying it's a done deal, but knowing that it has to be formalized over the next few days and anything can happen in the next few days, the stock market went on a little run, which is expected. Federal Reserve, they said, no, we're not going to reduce the interest rate. At least that's what it's leaning. The notes are leaning towards that. So not happening, and it was not expected. We're still expecting 45 to 60 days to hear them go 0.25 rate reduction. And then we're off to the races even more. But here's what I want to talk about. What happens when the corporations are doing stock buybacks of like $100 million and the market barely flinched over the last month? You would think that the stock market would have increased dramatically, but it did not, because there's some bolts that's loosening up on the wheels of this economy, and you got to pay attention and understand what's about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be cognizant. That's why you need a little gold and a little silver as well. EV Place TSLY went down to 5% a share, 40 cents from $8, but still 7.5% average in last 2 months. I will take it. That's exactly right. We'll take it, because 6 times 7 is 42%. Nobody's going to balk on 42%. In fact, nobody's going to balk on 5% times 12. Or nobody's going to balk on 5% for every 2 months either. So that would be 30%. Nobody's going to balk on 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% returns. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You have an open road. You have a way to financial freedom, streams of income, and building wealth at the same time without it being something else, commercial, hotel, or storage units, or RV park, or real estate where you have tenants. Here, there are no tenants and you still make money. All right. So that's what we're trying to get you guys to understand. Get yourselves in order, because we have so much. 1 year, 6 months is what you have left. And we have a nation to save. All right. It's going down, ladies and gentlemen. Things are going crazy, but does the stock market stop for that? Hell no. It's not stopping because the top 10% own 93% of the stock market. So it's not really the ordinary citizens, us, that are out here affecting the stock market. Those guys are. We just have to ride their tails. And that's what everybody here should be doing. Be right in here with the big boys. All right. By the way, there's a new stock that YieldMax ETF just brought out. The Berkshire Hathaway, BRBK, is Berkshire Hathaway's stock symbol for YieldMax ETF. So they're going to be following Berkshire Hathaway Class B stocks, which currently is a 500 plus, 501, $502 stock price. So that's going to be very interesting. Now, stock futures tick lower after S&P 500 ends 3-day win streak. Now, futures, the stock down, it's all red. Why? What happened? Because, as usual, the Trump side says, the Treasury Secretary, he says, Bessent floats extending tariff pause for countries in good faith trade talks. All of this we love if you're YieldMax ETF holders, if you are Defiance Group ETF holders, you love this because they both operate on an income option trading strategy. So we like after hours, the futures are down. That means tomorrow the stocks will drop. That means people will start trading. And we love it. That's what we're doing here right now, along with several other things, because you have to consider that the Federal Reserve is going to reduce interest rates. The bond rate is at 4.4, which is doing nobody any favors because that means your loans for homes are not going to be coming down dramatically. Still going to be roughly 7%, 6.5, 7.3, whatever. Need it under 4% and under would give us a housing improvement of equity. But let's get real. Homes are still overpriced for more than 80% of Americans. So that's pretty wild. All right. Tonight, I'm not going to be on here that long, but we have things that we need to talk about because investing and wealth is the only, there's going to be, America has always been the country on the shiny hill, right? Where people can come over here with nothing in their pockets and turn themselves into whatever they want to be, make money. There's a upward mobility for everybody. Well, if there aren't jobs where you got to get established, right? Just like when you, if you have no money, you have to get a job, you got to get established. If there's no jobs to get established, that starts putting people into certain sectors of class. So upward mobility gets harder and harder. And that's where we're probably going, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, as you sit idly by. And that's why you have to join the Billionaire Millionaire Club. I don't mean you need billions and millions. What I mean is you have to join what they're investing in, you have to invest in. So remember, when they're out here buying commercial properties, real estate, you should be thinking of commercial properties and real estate. When they're saying I'm buying this IPO or investing in this startup company and it's going to go public, you might want to consider investing in those companies. When you have an NVIDIA that buys or makes an investment in a company like CoreWeave, and CoreWeave does 2x, 3x in the first week, it's because of the investments by NVIDIA and other corporations in the millions of dollars. So they got a tailwind. So the stock price, like I said, I believe it went up 3 times the number within 7 days. So you could have 3x your purchase price from the IPO. So again, you have to start surveying. You have to pay attention. You need to sign up. Make sure you go to Market Watch, for instance, Wall Street Journal. You got to get information. Just like, what's that series? I'm trying to remember the movies that Michael Douglas was in. Charlie Sheen was in the first one, Wall Street. Wall Street 2, Money Never Sleeps. Money never sleeps because as we speak, people are making trades with corporation stocks 24 hours a day now. That's right. So now we're talking all the time, except for after Friday evening, and then it starts Sunday evening. So Friday night, Saturday night, nothing's happening unless you're doing some other type of trading, which, you know, currency trading. And you basically have all this time to make decisions, buy, sell, do whatever you need with the regard to stocks. Real estate is it's high risk, high rewards as well in an economy that is stalled. So what are you going to do? You want a playbook that I will be looking at over the next 1 year, 6 months. Short term, because I don't like holding land, because land has to go up in value in order for you to do some crazy things. So, again, if you had land and you bought it for, let's say you bought 5 acres for, I don't know, $25,000 in the middle of nowhere, and as long as you have water, sewer, and electricity coming to that lot, then it's a winner, or that acreage. So then what ends up happening is a lot of people may not be familiar with what you can do with land. I've talked about this before, is that you can use land as collateral to get construction loans, to get funding to build whatever you want to build on the land, and then roll it into a mortgage later. So don't think like a person that's doing liabilities. Don't think home. Don't do it for a home. What you want to do it for is something that's going to generate revenue. So, duplex, threeplex, quadplex. Think that. Think storage unit. Think anything that can generate revenue, because your property is going to have a value. And yes, you can borrow and use your land as collateral. Credit, not really needed. You have collateral. And now, if you go with the whole playbook of, well, I'm going to build this, I need this money, then you use the money, the collateral that you get from a person that's going to give you a loan. And of course, you complete your project. Once it's built, you have money coming in, and the value of your land has increased as well, which now means you have two options. You have revenue coming in, or you can borrow from the other, get a line of credit. So it's that simple. All right. That's how you get another way into the game. Now, you guys want to talk real estate? If you don't, then I'm about to tell you one more. So here's also what happens. I will probably start showing you some opportunities that I get that comes to me because I've been in real estate so long. I don't even utilize these guys, but they know I've invested with them before in years ago. They still send me information. So you'll start getting things in the upper Midwest, like in Indiana, Ohio, trying to think. Those mostly are the two locations where you have brick buildings, right? They're usually 40 years old. They're commercial properties like apartment buildings or duplexes or 6 units, 8 unit type of apartments. And the owner has owned them for 40 years, 30 years, oftentimes. So now the boiler, for instance, that's been buried below ground for the last 40 years, that's going to have to come up for repair, right? If it's not already messed up now, in your ownership stint, you would have to do something with it. But hopefully, everybody had their own water heaters in their units. That would even be better. But most of the time, 40, 50-year-old apartment complexes or anything that is sharing gas, water, and things like that, they're not going to be separate. So, what ends up happening though, these properties, because of the age, because of the revenue, they tend to come on market, and the age of the owner, they tend to come up on market where the owner is literally willing to take a, let's say, less than market value price. Well, other people would say, well, how can we find out about these? Well, see, that's just it. There's listings that not everybody lists on MLS, let's say, or the commercial websites either. Because when there's another person that's been in business for 20 years plus and is known to handle commercial deals, they send him the deal. He sends it out to his list of investors, and I'm on the list. We're the first ones that know about. Nobody knows about it except for all the people on the list. And it's up to you, because generally, I'll just give you the timelines. The list will come out, let's say today. You can generally rest assured in a 7 day, from 0 to 7, if it lasts past 4 days, I would be surprised. The reason it doesn't usually last past 4 days, why would you think? I know I'm giving you a question you would have to type, but here's the reason. You will not believe the analysis that this man puts on paper in an Excel spreadsheet. He explains everything an investor wants. Everything. And then some. So when you get it, you're looking at it and you're sitting there going, okay, what's the expenses? Where's the paperwork? What's the rent rolls? What's happening? All included. Okay, what about issues? He's already got them on there. Now, of course, if you get interested, but the point is, he has everything on there for you to make a decision. So generally, 4 days, it's usually gone. And what's even better? Cash flowing with your purchase price, not even a negotiated purchase price, with the exact purchase price, cash flow. So, needless to say, if there's any type of concession on sales price to go down, for a fact you're already cash flowing. The question is, how much cash flow do you need or want? Some of them are slim margins. It might only be $500 per month. But we're talking about something that your outlay is only going to be less than 5 to 10%. And then your return could be about 10% annually, right? Or it could be 15% annually. It generally doesn't go over 15. But that beats a 15 cap is much better than a freaking 5 cap property, right? So that's what we're going to start. I'll start doing some of those on the live stream as well when he sends them over. They don't come all the time. It's like once, maybe one or two a month, maybe once a month. It all depends. They don't come over all the time because he knows better. He's a guy that's been in the business so long that he knows if he takes something and he presents this and everything is in the pack, he knows it's gone in 4 days. Sometimes it takes 7, but most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, I get it to, let's say I got it earlier today. I start studying, I start looking at it. I don't make a decision, let's say, because I'm like, oh, let me get somebody to go over there, give them a couple $100, have an inspector go over there. And by the time the other people have it, they're thinking they're familiar with the place, right? They've already driven there because they live nearby. So they can be quicker. So now they make decisions because they go look, they go talk to people, they talk to whoever they can talk to, get it hands on, go look at the situations there. They can make decisions in 24 to 48 hours. So sometimes things are gone in 2 days, but the average is around 4. And the most I've ever seen something was 7 days, just to give you guys an idea. So it's not for the faint at heart. It's for the people that said, hey, I understand what's happening. I want something that's cash flowing. And we'll be talking about some of those along the next few years. And also, we're going to be talking about something else before I forget. A lot of people out here are in need of help for many different things. Some people may need help with their rent, their mortgage, car repair, insurance, health care, and I have omitted this for the last couple months, but findhelp.org, and you put in your zip code, and then you'll see all different types of grant monies that's available, or state and city uh, nonprofit organizations that help people for no money. And there's all kind of things that happen. Findhelp.org. You can go there right now. Go check it out. I'll have a link down below in the description box one of these days. Not right now, but just letting you guys know, because we're going to have a hard time for a lot of people. It's going to be worse over the next, like I say, it's already started. There's a lot of disarray. People are getting laid off. Jobs, is not livable wage jobs. So a lot of people are going to need a lot of help. All right. So just keep that in mind. Anybody listen to the motivation video that I did? I haven't done one of those in a while. I did one today, or it uploaded it. I uploaded it today. I actually did it yesterday, but nonetheless, we're talking about findhelp.org. If you have mental problems and you need mental health, 211 is on your phone, or you can go to 211.org, or at findhelp.org. You'll see 211 on there, and that's for mental health, by the way. All right. Because some people, I mean, look, you need caregivers. Some people are family caregivers, and you might need some group or therapy for that, because it's a lonely thing when you have to take care of somebody and there's nobody else around, right? Or maybe family member stops in, but you got to be on the clock and it's stressful. So again, this isn't, there's all kind of help in a lot of places that people don't know about. And this is from Matthew Lesko when he came on. All right. So I gotta give him credit, right? Gotta give him credit. You can get some grants as well. So I've talked about this before. He was on. Um, I'm gonna put this in the chat room. If you want some grants, things of this nature, you can get them here. Oh, I see. I have 211. Okay. You need caregivers as well. That could be a thing. So again, there it is. I put it in the chat room. And Matthew Lesko, you might have seen him on late night TV over the last 30, 40 years. where he used to be have a book. He'd be in Capitol wearing the question mark suits, and we were graced with his presence about 8 9 months ago. And it's the best thing that can happen for a lot of people right now, as more people have lost their jobs and put in jobless claims, and the cost of living is not coming down dramatically, if at all. Housing, there's help with housing. There's so much. Just go to findhelp.org. You'll see. That's the number one place that he first said. And the other thing is, if you want to join Matthew Lesko and other people who actually help find other grants that are not even on findhelp.org for people, you can sign up at leskohelps.com. Lesko helps, Lesko help.com. And you can join. I do not recommend doing the monthly. You should do the semi-annually or annually at 50, $60. And there's people, like if you said, I need help with something, people in his group, because there's thousands, they will actually say, hey, check this out, because you might be in a certain state. And they'll say, hey, this is what's in your state. This is what's in your area. They'll help you, which is a good thing. You need a village, not just for a child, but a village also helps adults and the community, right? So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you want to go. Now, what else do I want to? Oh, yeah, I need to do something real quick. Uh, Let me do this. Uh, but let me know what you guys are thinking about anything, because once again, 100% return on a Yield Max ETF stock, MSTY. I put the link in the chat room already for the global news, so you can see for yourself what the dividends are going to be on Friday. Weeklies and the monthlies are coming out on Friday, so you can see already what's going to happen. So you don't have to be shy. You'll know. I need to do this several things. All right. So just keep all of that in your head, because I was going to go somewhere else, but I forgot what I was going to talk about. Um, I don't really want to talk about, in you don't nerve. The United States Federal Reserve actually buys Treasury, right? Stocks. They have a trading desk.